Hey everybody, I'm Jocelyn Polite and you're watching the New Music Buzz. We're at the Paley Center on the red carpet for the season 2 premiere of the hit show Aquarius. We got a chance to talk to some of the stars of the show, so let's check it out.
Do you ever have one of those moments where suddenly you just understand everything?
Just a hero on a bridge that's burning down.
This country is gonna burn. This is our message to the world. We're igniting the apocalypse.
The world seems shit.
Helter Skelter.
Aquarius premieres Thursday, June 16th on NBC.
First and foremost, I want to ask you about your music and about recording. And are you still recording? And when can we expect?
I'm going to be recording hopefully at the mid-end of summer. Got about 12 to 15 new songs that we're working on, and before we record, just want to make sure they're exactly the way we want them.
And how's it coming along? Can we expect an album soon?
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope so in the fall. I mean, I would like that. I would like it, you know. Music is kind of new to me, so I don't really know the pace. I don't know how quickly these things come together, you know. But
I'm sure it's going to be great. And now on to Aquarius. It's so important. Speaking of music, one of the things that I love about the show is listening to the music, because I'm one of those people that love the 60s. So what about the 60s? What's inspired you for making Aquarius?
Well, what I liked I love the music and I love the clothes and I love, what we all love about the 60s. But what I really enjoyed about creating this character that I'm doing in the show is that he's not a guy of the 60s. He's my age in the 60s, which means he was raised in the 20s and 30s and 40s, came of age then. So he's really a different kind of a man than we've seen in a long time on television. He's not a new age, sensitive cop. He's a badass.
Tell me a little bit about your character in hunting, I want to use the term hunting, but actually investigating Charlie Manson.
Well, the truth is that Manson wasn't really on anybody's radar so much. So it's not really the kind of a show where we're investigating him. And the case closed fairly quickly after the murders. So it's not really that kind of a show. It's not really a police work show in that way. All the other cases that I'm involved with are not Manson related. They're fictional. And we're very much a cop show from the late 60s and not a Manson investigation show. So it's like we have two parallel shows running at the same time. And what's interesting is to watch how they converge.
And what can we expect from season 2? What can we expect from your character season 2?
Oh, a lot more nonsense, a lot more drinking, a lot more fighting, a lot more bad behavior that leads to good police work. Yeah.
That's awesome. I look forward to it. Tell me a little bit about the evolution of Brian and Sam in season 2.
Well, originally, I think that the writers and the creator, John Mack, initially wanted us to be like a father-son thing, and it does become that, but it also becomes this, in a sense, a brotherhood, and then this season, those values and that idea is kind of challenged, and we don't know, really, you'll see. I mean, it just kind of gets crazy, and I think deep down we know we're there for each other, cops in arms and all that, but I think that there's just so much going on. I mean, this season really is, I think, a better representation of the 60s than the last season, just because we start out as one character and we all kind of become a different person by the end of this season.
And that person that you become, would that be someone that you would hang out with? Would you hang out with your character in real life?
No, I wouldn't hang out with either of them, the first or the second. No, I mean, I always like Shafe because he's this noble person who really cares about his family and doing the right thing, and then this season really kind of, you question that, you question if he's really sticking to his guns or whatever, because he gets involved with some things that really kind of just change him, probably permanently.
And last question, is it really eerie to work up against a character like Charlie Manson, like to work up against that type of energy of that character?
It's really eerie because, it's this heinous thing that happened because of that man and his family. It's eerie, just the content all around it, when we put together the Tate House and when we walk on a set, like your gut turns, because you know how awful this is. But it is history, and I think that it's the only way to make sure history doesn't repeat itself is to tell those stories, and it's eerie.
Tell me a little bit about what kind of preparation does it take to play someone so sinister?
It takes it was a lot of work just to get my head in the world of the '60s, actually, especially as trying to really understand what it must have been like to be a young person in the late '60s in a time of a lot of turmoil. There was an exciting passion of liberation back then as well for young people, and trying to really understand that was quite a high hurdle, and a lot of listening to music to help that. There's some great music from that period which was really helpful, and a lot of book reading, watching documentaries and that kind of thing.
Now, we saw kind of the beginning stages of Charlie Manson, and we're seeing kind of the evolution of Charlie Manson. What can we expect this season?
This season, we can sort of see, those who know the history of the real events will know that '68 is when the stakes got even higher for him personally and the people around him about, they made some real big mistakes along the way about what the choices they made. He gets very close to Hollywood music industry professionals because he's still, in his own mind, he wanted to be a recording artist. And so we see a little bit of the build up towards that, and we get ever closer to what we know are very tragic events, but we're trying to do our best to do them justice.
I can't wait. I'm really excited about it. I wanted to ask you, what was it like, or what is it like to play a female cop in the '60s on Aquarius?
It's such a rewarding role to be able to play because she's facing so many issues with equal rights and equal opportunity, far more so than women today face. And it was quite heartbreaking to see what it was like for women at that time period. So it's an incredible role. She's such a strong woman. She's really independent and driven and focused and inspired. So it's pretty fun.
What did you learn most about the '60s, basically, while making this?
Because I didn't know anything at all. I wasn't born in the '60s, so I didn't sort of I had an idea about the time period, but I didn't know a lot of the historical facts. I didn't really speak to people firsthand until I got this role, and then I started to do my research and ask questions, and our showrunner, John McNamara, is like a wealth of knowledge. He's an encyclopedia, so I learned everything that I could about the time period, and I love it. It's just from the costumes to the progression and the freedom of that time. Just really inspiring.
I love it too. When I watch it, it's like putting on an album, listening to all the music and everything. It's like really great. What's the fun part? What's the best part about going to work on this series?
Honestly, everything. It's the greatest job on earth, but putting that costume on and sitting in the hair and makeup chair and transforming into this character from another time period, you really feel like someone else, and you really get to embrace that role, and that's what I love. And then also I get to work with such epic, amazing actors, so that's a trip.
So tell me a little bit about what it's like to be just in this series with the '60s and the clothes and the music.
I love everything about this show. I mean, it's so ambitious and complex, and as an actor, I get to do things that really challenge me and sometimes scare me, and so it's always, as an actor, that's the kind of work that you dream about. It's a dream job.
And what can we expect from your character in season 2?
Well, I think in the first season, Grace is really, we discover she's a woman who lives in a glass house. And that house shatters by the end of the season. So she can either pick up the pieces, or she can make this bold choice to kind of live authentically. And that's what she does. And it's a bold choice for a woman in the late 1960s to kind of say, you know what, I'm going to go against everything that I've learned is right and follow my heart for maybe the first time ever. So I think this season is watching her kind of navigate that new life.
And with the other characters on the show, are there any other characters that you see yourself relating to a lot, or that you could have even seen yourself playing?
That's a good question. I haven't gotten that question before. Honestly, Grace is my top pick. She's always challenging me, and I'm always finding new pieces of the puzzle to put together to kind of create this character. So for me, it's it's a great role. It's really fulfilling.
And you are expecting, and so when are you due? Tell us a little about it.
Due early September, so I have like 2.5 months left. I'm in the final stretch, 3rd trimester. It's another boy. I have a 2-year-old boy, so my hands will be full.
Yes, they will. Well, keep up the good work and congratulations on tonight. The carpet's over and I'm about to go inside and get a sneak peek of the season 2 premiere. I'm Jocelyn Polite and you've just been buzzed.
This is Michaela McManus.
Hi, I'm Claire Holt.
My name is Gethin Anthony.
I'm Gray Damon.
Oh, hi, I'm David Duchovny. I've just been buzzed.